Get on your feet and make some noise. It's time to rise up and join the rebellion with Tyson Smith.
What is going on, everybody? Tyson Smith. Today we have on a fucking treat, bro. We got on Jacob Hagerman at the Real Young Closer _
No, just at the Real Young Closer on Instagram. No underscores.
All right, there we go. Dude, when I first met you at Andy Elliott's office, the Macklin twins had a nickname for you. I can't remember. It was something assassin.
The verbal villain.
The verbal villain, bro. And why do they call you the verbal villain?
Because, man, I'm Andy's guy when it comes to word tracks, overcoming objections, closing. I just go crazy. I mean, you throw me in a room, literally what we call it is called pulling the pin on the grenade. And so you pull the pin, then you just toss that and you just run away because you already know I'm gonna wreak some havoc.
Well, dude, I've seen it in action. So hey, let's say that we're at the car lot and I'm looking in and we're going through the deal and I say, hey, listen, Jacob, I appreciate everything. I just want to run this by my wife, and then hopefully we'll be able to make a deal happen.
I would say this, hey, listen, I totally understand. As busy as life is for most people, when it comes to purchasing a vehicle, especially with the family, it's generally a planned event. When you left your driveway this morning, I'm almost certain that you and your wife had a conversation on what the deal needed to look like in order for you to feel completely comfortable making a decision. You said you love the vehicle, that should be extremely happy with the safety and the fuel economy, and we're well within your budget. So, Tyson, let me ask you a question. If I can save your wife the trouble of having to come all the way down to the dealership, plus save her the time of having to sit through the entire process, and you could be the hero that takes all of the headache out of the deal, would that upset your wife in any way at all? Would it?
No, it wouldn't, Jacob.
Thank goodness. Come on.
Dude, I love it, man. Love the so one thing that I learned at that seminar that you and Andy were preaching was you gotta make it easy to say yes to, hard to say no to, and you gotta make it feel like it's their idea.
Every time.
Yeah.
And so, number one, I do want to say this. Thank you for having me on the podcast, man. That means the absolute world being able to put the message out there. So, I always love to get the opportunities. But yeah, so when it comes into sales, your whole entire operation with sales is to reduce the pressure and make it easy, okay? Mm-hmm. When it comes to anything that you're buying, there's that little bit of that anxiety, that paranoia, that pressure that you feel naturally spending money.
Right.
The salesperson's obligation is to reduce that, make it fun, and make it their idea to move forward in the process. So that's why we have word tracks that make sense, push the deal forward, and drop the pressure. Because you see this, and if you walk in, go to Starbucks, okay? Go start asking them, hey, what do you think of salespeople? What are they going to say? Slimy, thieves, all of these negative words, and then have a conversation with them for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then say, how do you feel about me? They're like, oh, you're amazing, Tyson. We love you. You got such great energy. You got such a good smile, this, that, and the other. And then guess what? You'd be like, well, I'm in sales. And so there's that preconceived notion that every salesperson has to battle straight off the gate. And so it's our job to make it fun, make it easy, and make it to where that pressure is gone.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do with the Elliott Group and make it easy.
Well, here's the thing is I think that a lot of salespeople do suck. There's a reason why why we got a bad reputation.
100%. Right now we're in the era of the worst sales professionals. We're in the era of the worst leadership in any corporation, but especially sales. Okay, the last year and a half, 2 years, everybody's been making more money than they were supposed to, okay? The losers were winning and the winners were still winning. But when you start winning as a loser, you start becoming and building that false reality that you are a winner, when in reality, the market did everything for you.
You were an order taker.
You were an order taker. And so imagine the guy working at McDonald's who's flipping the burgers. If he can't flip burgers, it doesn't make any sense for him to work there, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the sales world, there's people out there who couldn't close deals who then started making the money that they shouldn't be in the first place. And so now they're like, oh, well, let's say back to that guy at McDonald's, he's thinking he's a burger flipper. Now he's like, oh, dude, I'm a freaking manager. I'm a general manager of this McDonald's. I'm making the same money he is.
Yep.
But in reality, his job is to flip the patties and he sucks at it. And so the sales guy, his job is to do the basic, get the yes, get that, that paycheck. And the deal is he gets that inflated self-worth, that inflated ego, that inflative sense of winning. But it's a false reality. And so right now, as the market's starting to correct, a lot of realities are getting shattered because they can't do their job effectively. They can't close. They can't negotiate. And leaders right now, they can't lead their teams because it was easy. When you dangle the carrot in front of them, well, guess what? They got something that's easy to go. Over the past 2 years, any leader can be like, hey, listen, you want to make 20, 30 grand with no training? You want to go crush it? They're like, yeah. People are motivated by money or culture. And so when the money is easy, it's easy to stay motivated.
Yeah.
And then now it's getting to the point where if you're not good, you don't make the money. Now you got to build a powerful culture and you got to train your sales team.
Yeah.
And so everything is starting to backslide, and we're just trying to be the backstop.
Well, dude, I mean, I feel it because so in our industry, we had this period, just like, have you been seeing in cars and solar and all this different stuff, but we had this period where everybody could make money wholesaling real estate because there were these hedge funds that were paying stupid amounts of money for property. So you could lock up property at damn near like whatever the fuck the seller's asking you for it, and you could sell it to some hedge fund.
Then you can flip it.
Yeah, who's going to pay overvalue. All of a sudden, these hedge funds turned off, and we see all kinds of people that are like, "Oh fuck, we're not like where'd all our deals go? Like, we
where'd the
can't."
money go?
Yeah, and so, but I love what you said that people are motivated by money or culture. So I've been aggressive. Now here's the thing: is when this whole hedge fund era was going on, I never got into it, and maybe that's lucky that I look back now because. In the time, I was like, fuck, this is a tactical mistake. Like, we're missing out on so much. But that caused us to have to stay being good at our jobs.
Stay being sharp.
Yeah, still being able to buy at a discount. Now, one thing that I've been working on, one thing I've started to understand is that if you do want to build an elite sales organization, culture is fucking huge.
Everything. It's absolutely everything. And so you'll see great organizations who might have a lot of killers, a lot of just assassins when it comes to the sales aspect. But the deal is those people are always going to work for money. You hang a bigger carrot, you hang a bigger salary, you hang a bigger commission check in front of them, they're gone. And so you can't build empires, but you can build small businesses that are winning.
Yeah.
Go look at the Roman Empire. I mean, it was the greatest empire, and I know we're taking it all the way back. It's a crazy analogy that I'm about to give, but it was a super powerful empire until it wasn't. And so the deal is with a lot of these companies, they can be a one generation, maybe a two generation, withstanding company that crushes it and kills it because the culture isn't there. There isn't those people who are buying in for the long term.
Yeah.
And so you've got the short term wins, the short term money, and then all you're going to play is the short term game.
Right.
And the short term game will not allow you to live the life that you want.
Absolutely.
And so, with what you guys are doing, that's commendable, bro. That you're not just chasing the easy money, that you're chasing like the reality of like, okay, when it goes back to what we're used to, we're going to be ahead of the competition because we've stayed in the mud. We've stayed in the grind. We've stayed in the war. We've stayed in the battle. We didn't leave. We made sure that we were still proficient at what we did every single day, and we didn't step off the gas. A lot of people stepped off the gas and they got on that comfortable freeway where you're cruising at a nice 85 and there's barely any traffic on it. You guys stayed in the traffic jam, building your own road as you went. And so now you guys got something super powerful within your company. You've built your own road. You've put the guardrails up. Nobody can get on your highway and nobody can get off.
God damn.
And so,
yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So, dude, I want to ask you because one thing is when I noticed I went over your guys' spot, bro. The culture you guys got is fucking tangible, bro. You can smell it. Like, as soon as you walk into the Lions Den, dude. I walk in, fucking people are banging out push-ups, screaming, doing all, like, it's fucking, it's clear that there's a fucking...
the buy-in.
Yes.
And
how do you get that?
Well, so number one, as we say, people work for culture or money. For us, the Elliott Group, we've all been impacted by Andy and Jacqueline Elliott. Number one, massive shout out to them for having to go through a life of pain to be able to say, I'm done with this and I don't want more people to go through what I've been through. And so they built this amazing company from nothing and we've done things before we were supposed to do them. Like, we've always pushed the needle in the red. And we stay in the red because that's where, pressure creates diamonds or burst pipes. And so we all were impacted by Andy and Jacqueline. They put their heart and soul into the training before there was really a team. They ran like they had an amazing $100 million company when they were operating out of 700 square feet in Norman, Oklahoma. And so they had this dream and this vision to impact the world, make amazing sales professionals, and be able to just live a great life themselves because they've always been burned, they've been done dirty, and so that was their motivation behind it, was to just empower the world. And so they did that. Their message got out there, people got impacted, people got inspired, and then they needed the team aspect.
Yeah.
So they've done all the front end work, the buy-in. And so everybody that you see when you walk into my company has trained with us at one point, come to an event, to a seminar, and got their lives impacted. And so when you get that opportunity to then work for that company and go represent what you've already been through, the wins that you felt, the way that you felt beforehand and then afterwards, and then you get to go transfer that emotion into other people. Well, the deal is you don't work for money at that point. You work with a purpose.
Absolutely.
And so everybody, it's mandatory. I get thousands of resumes a month. of people saying, I'll do anything to work at your guys' company. Guys who are making, $500 grand, $1 million, they'll do anything to just be around that energy, that nucleus of winning. And so for us, we say, you can't come and tell people to do what you haven't done. And so you can't be a fraud off the rip. You've got to go through the training. You've got to be impacted. You've got to change your life to a certain extent for you to then come tell other people how to go do it yourself. Because then you're just trying to, it's like giving a blind man a map.
Yeah.
It's useless to him.
Does this kind of tie into the idea that I've heard you talk about a lot of like total recreation?
Absolutely. So we've all been totally recreated. And so I'm going to tell a little bit about my story is, I grew up super poor, mom and dad, drug addicts, alcoholics, crazy stuff, okay? I watched my father get murdered in front of me when I was 12 years old, like right there, boom, done. Spent a year in the courts. Everybody who did it walked. We were poor before then. Dude, I thought we hit rock bottom before then. Just after that, dude, there was another level of rock bottom that we had to find out. I moved to Arkansas, went to, middle school, high school, finished up there. Wanted to go practice and be a corporate, do corporate litigation, be an attorney. Couldn't do that. Mom was poor. I just needed to go figure out a way to make money. Got into sales, found Andy Elliott, got my life impacted. And so, dude, it was just something that like really, affected with a lot of, myself and a lot of people is that, dude, we just run with our hearts, man. And so, yeah.
Dude, fucking crazy.
And so, like, I just want to say this, with that level of, like, impact, that total recreation is that I was that kid, that person who was lost. I was broken people. Broken people can either break other people or broken people can help fix broken people because you've been there. Like, your mentors are people who have been where you want to go and can help you get there. And so my total recreation was the fact that I was lost. I didn't know where to go with life. I had a hard upbringing. And people say I'm a product of my environment. That's not a reality. You're a product of the decisions and the execution you make inside your environment. And so I didn't give myself that little bullshit sob story. I didn't just say, oh, you know what, man, like, grew up poor, mom and dad were drug addicts, I'm gonna follow their path. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna go do something bigger with my life. And so I did. Made a lot of money in sales. That's how I found Andy. And Andy was like, hey, listen, if you want to go be great, you've got to completely change who you are. Like, every bad thing about you, figure out what's bad about you from your mindset, your habit, your skill set, your body, the way that you just operate life, and then go, what's the 180 to that? Like, what's the opposite of that? Like, if you're just a negative person, well, what's the opposite of being negative? Positive. You want to become your most elite version of yourself? Go find the negatives that are about you and then go turn them into the positives and then go become that.
Yeah. Because
you can't become a millionaire until you have the millionaire habits, mindset, skill set.
Absolutely.
So if you want the result, become first before you'll have. And that's the total recreation.
Dude, you know what? This is something really similar to like a journey I've been on. I realized that I had to take a look at myself, and it wasn't anything that I needed to start doing. It was, what did I need to get rid of in my life? What were the habits I had that I needed to get rid of? And that's what would allow me to get to the next level.
And that's probably most of the world, is that you've already got the foundation. Like, you've got like, if you're listening to this podcast, like, if you're surrounded by those people, you've got the want to get it. Maybe there's a couple of things that you're missing that we need to change to help you get there and compress the time frame and get there faster. But it's not that you have to go completely, like, find out a new set of habits. You just got to replace the bad ones with the good ones. And I'm telling you, your life will become better because of it. You've got everything that you need to win and solve your problems. Like, the solution to your problems isn't a window, okay? Like, it's not out there in the world that's going to solve it all for you. Go up to a mirror, go look at that person, and go wave at them. And I promise you, that's the person that can solve all your problems. So go fix that. And then go find some mentors that can compress the time frame for you. But as they say, the teacher doesn't appear until the student is ready to learn. And so until you're ready to walk that path and start being, that person that changes, whether it's a salesperson, a CEO, or just somebody, a stay-at-home mom or dad, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're ready, what you need will come. The world's your library. If you know what you're looking for, it will provide every single time.
Absolutely, dude. Dude, how did you, like... I feel like there's a trend nowadays where people are so quick to be like, I was dealt a shit hand. Like, I can't do it, right? Like, how did you get this level of accountability where you're like, nah, like, this is in my control?
Well, I spent 18 years in it, dude. I spent 18 years in the freaking mud, and I hated every second of it. Like, who likes waking up and being a shitty person? Who likes waking up and not having, and, like, being dictated by money? Who likes waking up and being like, oh, dude, like, I'm a product of my environment and just living the excuse life? Nobody actually likes doing it, but it's easy because us now, like we're both young guys, okay? We're meant to influence the world and help, help lead the way, lead from the front. But people want instant gratification. They want to win in 3 ways: quickly, comfortably, and safely. That's it. That's the way people want to win. But it's absolutely impossible to get that. When people say, "Oh, I want to win quickly," I'm like, "What do you mean quickly? In like a decade or 5 decades?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "I want to win this year." And I'm like, "Oh, so you want to win quickly?" They're like, "Yeah, of course." Like that'd be like a year, 6 months. I'm like, if it happens in your lifetime, it was pretty fucking quick. Like if you get your goals in your lifetime, that was pretty damn quick relative to the rest of everything. Okay, like there's been empires that taken fucking hundreds of years to build, and all of a sudden you just want to get yours in a year. That's unrealistic. It's life, and winning is a sprint inside of a marathon, and the finish line always moves. Don't tell me any different. You got to run as fast as humanly possible every second that you're awake, and you got to have that speed to do it. You got to have the endurance, that's the marathon, to continue to do it for your lifestyle and do it for your lifetime.
Yeah.
And then the finish line always moves. If you reach the destination, you fucked up somewhere. You set a goal and you achieved it, and then you stopped thinking about bigger goals. You got comfortable, and that's where that comfortable aspect comes. The finish line is always moving. I move the goalpost every day because I'm always getting there with my goals. I'm so close every day. I'm right there, and then I just push it a little bit further, and I go, "Fuck, got to get better now."
So here's the thing about that, dude. I was realizing, what makes me excited every single day to wake up, and it's because I always have something I'm building or something I'm working towards.
Yes.
So once you finally get there, then what are you excited for?
Nothing.
Right?
And guess what? That's why you see people lose it all after they've gotten it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that makes sense.
That's the reason why. I mean, shit. The second that you get the life that you want, like if I say, you know what, you're like, Jacob, I want to have 10 million in the bank, and I give you 10 million in the bank. What the fuck else are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have that same habits. You're not gonna have that edge. You're not gonna have that healthy paranoia that somebody's gonna come take it. Because once you get it, you sit back, and then all of your senses are just gone. You have no competitive skill. You have no competitive advantage. You have nothing that is gonna take that somebody else like. If somebody else wants to come against our company, you've got to not just beat Andy, Jacqueline, you've got to beat our entire team. You've got to be every single person that walks in that office fired up and ready to win. Yeah. And so if we imagine one day we all just got comfortable and just laid back and just, I've got the money, dog. I don't got to do nothing. I'm going to go to Mexico for a year. I'm going to go hang out. I'm going to go sip some margs on the beach, bro. We're going to come back and our company's going to be gone. It doesn't matter about all the undeniable truth that we're the best at who we say we are, that we've got the testimonials, that we've got some of the biggest businesses that are training with us. It doesn't matter. You get comfortable, you let off the gas, naturally you get passed up on the interstate. Yeah. And so it's just the interstate of life, bro. It's the interstate of business.
Are you ever going to retire, Jacob?
Fuck no. I'm going to work until I die.
Dude,
and it's not even work, bro. No. Like, anybody's like, oh, you know what? Man, I got to show up to work, man. Oh, my goodness. Golly gracious. Dude, it's a lifestyle, bro. Like, it's just life. Like, people are like, Jacob, how are you so fired up? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm normal right now. Like, my normal is your abnormal. But until you come across that and then you make that your normal, then it's your normal. And then to everybody else, you're abnormal. Like, I'm not some anomaly. I'm not like, oh, he's built different. No, bro. I built myself different. I built who I wanted to become. And since I've become that's who I am. Yeah. And so it's not like I'm fired up or I'm jacked up. That's just Jacob. Yeah. Like, everybody in life is like you walk into the room, they're like, oh, there you are. No, it's, dude, here the fuck I am, man. You got to walk in like you own the place. Like, dude, my name's on the front of the building.
I fucking love that, bro. Dude, and you know what? You know what I really like here is this idea that you built the person you wanted to be. That's something I talk about. Is, dude, the motherfucker I am now was a product of my imagination fucking several years ago.
Hell,
I was like, this is what I want to look like. This is what I want to be doing.
I seen yesterday on your story, bro. You were sitting there in front of what? Like looked like a courthouse.
It was a frat house.
It looked like it's all the same stuff. Man. Yeah. Courthouse, frat house, fucking. You guys are all just getting fucking ridiculous. Y'all getting crazy. I never made it to college, so I sadly never got a chance to experience that. That'll be part of the life resume that I'm missing out. But dude, I seen that, dude. You're a little chunky. You had some like fucking sweats on.
I got some fucking little torpedo titties, bro.
Yeah, as Wes Watson says, some buggy whips and halibut tits, dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, fuck, dude. Like, Tyson, you've changed, bro. You recreated.
Yeah, I had to.
You had to get who you wanted to be. And most people will fucking sit there. They'll be like this. Oh, Tyson's posting another shirtless picture. Oh, he posted another win. Janice, can you see that? Tyson got another Rolex. Oh, my God. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my boy. Like, dude, and I almost slid up and said, motherfucker, you got so much more in you.
Exactly, Wayne. And this is what I want to get to is because it's something Andy was talking about. He was showing some pictures of him from like however long ago. He's like, do you recognize that motherfucker? Like, I sure don't. And that's how I want to be in another 5 years from now. I want to look back at this guy and be like, who the fuck is that dude?
Let's make it 6 months. Be unrecognizable in 6 months. Fuck 5 years.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, it's just that's it.
Constant evolution, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's just that constant change. You know, life is, you know, obviously it's short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we all just get caught up in like what other people are saying. Like I can give a rat's ass what you say about me. I don't care, dude. I get like I literally don't log into my TikTok anymore because the comments are cancerous.
It's funny you say that right now, bro.
But sometimes I got time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm sitting there. I've got my coffee. I'm sitting here just like this. Yeah, I'm about to ruin your day, dog. Because listen, if you're gonna get in front of me, I speak for a living, bro. I got some fucking Twitter fingers, like no one's business. All right. But my thing is that we all get caught up in the comments too much. We get caught up in what other people care and what other people say. I don't care, bro. Like when you die, after you die, nobody forever is gonna remember you. I'm sorry. I hate to be that pessimistic person.
No, but it's how it is.
But it's how bro, you know what's crazy? The Queen of England. I've used this as an example. I was with the Alpha Army guys, and I was like, you know what, dude? You know what's crazy? The Queen of England just died. When was the last time you thought about her? The literal fucking Queen of England died a couple months ago.
I don't even know her name.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. And guess what?
There you go.
Guess what? Nobody's talking about her. So you're telling me that the literal queen passes and a couple months later nobody's talking about her? Bro, listen. Go do you.
Yeah.
Go do what you want to do. Go become fulfilled. Go
Yeah.
become your most elite version of yourself. And if anybody else got something else to say about it, you don't have that circle. That's a cage. You got to break out of that.
Yep.
Okay? And so go put you around people that enhance you. Go get around people that force you to be better. Like you're not going to just rise up to like your potential. It's impossible. You rise up to your standards and your expectations of yourself and people around you. Like if I expect you to change in 6 months and that's my expectation of you, number one, that's a good for you. It's good for somebody to get up in your grill and say, what the fuck are you doing?
That's called being a good friend.
That's being the best friend. And then guess what? You will change because we have that relationship where you're like, dude, listen, you got to do this. You got to do X, Y, and Z to become this person. And it would kill me that if you died and you didn't become that person.
Absolutely.
And so that's the type of friends that you need to have around you. And that's what we've done with the Elliott Group is we've made an entire team culture and company where it's like that is the expectation. Our expectations of the world is, bro, you did great last month. That's amazing. Let's go do it again. Let's go do it bigger.
Absolutely.
And if that's my expectation of you, and every time you get on the phone, I'm like, hey, where you at? What are you doing? What's going on? And you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm starting off slow. Fuck that. No, you're not. You're not allowed to. What do you mean I'm not allowed to? You crushed it last month. You've shown that it's possible. Well, are you a one-timer? No. Are you Uncle Rico who can throw that football over the mountain? No. Okay, great. So then go do it again. Like, what are we talking about? Get off the phone with me. Let's go crush it.
Yep.
Like, or it's like, hey, what do you need? What's missing in the skill set? Where's the crack in the castle? Oh, I can't overcome objections. Great. Here's some training. Go study. Like your personal development game is a game that you're playing for life.
Absolutely.
Like it's just points on the board. Like it's like playing any video game when you were a kid. You hit some level ups, okay? You get some freaking whatever it is. Like, golly, you get some new attachments in Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Try get some new perks.
No, I'm with you, bro. I love comparing. I compare life to a video game all the time, bro. It's like here's the thing: is business is the most fun fucking game you can ever play. Like,
but it's also the worst.
Well, it'll kick your ass.
Well, not even that. It's just the deal is you're gonna have fun in any video game that you play. You're gonna have fun in any business that you're gonna come into. But if your expectation and perception is that business fucking sucks, well, guess what? It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Like the reason why business is so fun for you, and you know that it's a cutthroat game, and you know that like if you don't show up, then guess what, bro? You could lose all of this. You can lose the house, you can lose the car, you can lose the team, you can lose the company if you don't show up. But the deal is, that's nice, is you're like, dude, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Absolutely.
And the future adversities is just life resume for you. You're not worried about that shit.
You know, that's the thing, is everything that's gotten me to right here, even if I lost it all,
Life
right?
resume.
It fucking comes down, I lose it to everything, it's gone. Bro, I still became this fucking person that got it all there. I'm gonna go get it again, baby. I'm gonna get it fucking 10 times better.
Hell yeah, because now you know now you know the mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
where the cracks in the castles form. And if your business, you have your foundation. Everybody forgets about the foundation. For some reason, we all forget about, I call it BTTB, back to the basics, okay? We got to build that foundation every single day. We've got to strengthen it and make sure that we can keep on growing on top of it. If you build a mansion on sand, well, the first sign of adversity or the wind blowing, it's going to crumble. It's going to give out. But let's say, you know what, we pour some solid concrete on it day one. We let it settle. We let it get cured. And then we build the mansion on it. And then guess what? It'll stay there. It'll go through some adversity. Earthquake happens, okay? Different adversity. Maybe, you know, you get a divorce. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe something happens. Maybe the market's great and then it goes away. Some cracks in the old foundation start to form, but we just ignore it because at one point we set the foundation. We knew that we did a good job on the foundation day one, but 5 years down the road, next thing you know, there's some cracks forming. We don't do anything about it. Well, guess what? The house can still fall over to some adversity. It's something that you've always got to keep building. And your life resume, nobody can take it from you.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to go without. I know what it's like to shower when it rained. I know what it's like to have to that poor, bro. Like, no heat in the winter, no water in the summer, showering when it rained outside, taking like straight up from like the churches, how they do like food drives and stuff like that. Bro, we used to get a freaking 5-gallon tub of peanut butter, rice, and freaking cleaning supplies, toothbrushes and stuff like that. Yeah, bro. That's the way I started. So if someone's like, Jacob, what if you lost it all? And I'm like, do I got a place to stay? Like, do I have a team? They'd be like, yeah, you got your team. Okay, do I, like, am I dead? No. Do I have a disease that I can't cure? No. Am I going to be still around, like, the guys that I love, like that this culture that we built? Yeah. Okay, I'm living a good life.
Yeah.
Because I've been without. Like, you can't dangle that stick above me with the carrot and be like, oh, what if you lose it all? I've started with nothing, so great, and I've came this far. So
not to mention all this shit is like it doesn't change your life, bro. Like the Ferrari and the watch and all of that. Like it's all about what you're talking about. It's about having your purpose and your people.
You know what my favorite thing is everyone's like, oh, dude,
Jacob, you gotta get a Rolex, dog. You gotta get that presidential.
and I'm like, dude, no, listen, that you know what that is? That's our team watch,
Fuck yeah.
and so spin it on the back. There was 200 of them made. I'm number 10, and it says "Stay Relentless" on the back. Okay, that watch. Number one, I've closed more deals in this fucking watch than a fucking 10 Rolexes combined. Who gives a fuck? But the deal is when I'm having a bad day, I've got some things that I look at and I go, okay, why did I start?
Mm-hmm.
This thing, dude, it's maybe a couple $100, if that. Who knows? I don't know.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It was a gift from Andy and Jacqueline directly to me. They're like, hey,
worth
Jacob,
more than
here's number
anything.
10. And I'm like, okay. It says Relentless Savage on the back. It's got a company logo. It says Alpha Warrior on the front. The deal is this watch to me means more than a fucking $50,000 Rolex or whatever it is, because I know that, dude, money is great, but it's the byproduct of what I do right. That's all it is.
Absolutely. And you know what, dude? There's a difference between the reason why people pay so much for Rolex is because Rolex has spent fucking how much money on marketing to make you think that it's that.
Hell yeah.
You know what's
and here's the deal. If you buy a Rolex, good damn job. Good job. I'm not taking away from the savages who got Ferraris or Rolexes. Good fucking job. Go get some nice stuff in life. I love it. Like anybody who tells you,
Oh, don't spend your money on Rolexes or fucking Ferraris.
like I love that little voice. It's just that's like that little.
Oh,
little
I know it.
Little bitch.
I know that guy.
Little bitch all the way in the back.
I know that fucking
But people
guy.
who are like, oh, don't spend money on Rolexes or Ferraris or this, that, and the other, and the third. It's like, bro, number one, you put in your life into this. Go get some things that when you get up in it, you're like, did I just start up a fucking Ferrari? What the fuck? Like I got a big old diesel out front. I'm a country boy at heart, bro. So I wanted a nice truck. And the day one that I started at the company, I took a screenshot on my phone. I'll pull it up of I'm not driving. I gotta put on do not disturb, because then you know what, dude. these texts will start coming.
They'll
in.
fucking disturb you, bro.
Yeah, these texts will start disturbing you. But I'm gonna pull this up just so you can see that, like, dude, I knew what I wanted, and this is come on, man. Goddamn fucking phone. There we go. Gotta hit that little swipe up. Where's it at? It was like right here in the beginning. Do I still got this photo? Oh, yep. So this is November 22nd, 2021. That's the exact truck that I drive. It's just not wrapped army green.
Fucking A.
And I knew that that's what I wanted. And so like it was just like I set that goal. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna do that in a year or 2 years. And I gotta hit X, Y, and Z. And if I do that, I'm gonna go spend some dough. I set a goal that was a tough goal to hit, and then I hit my expectations. And so I'm not gonna starve myself out of a win.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Right.
So, dude, like, you got a nice little rollie on. You got a nice freaking building right here. You got a great team. The deal is, you got to go have some fun, man.
Absolutely.
What else we doing it for?
Exactly. I mean, bro, once you make like past a certain amount of money, like besides fucking paying for all the food you want and where you're living, bro, like here's my fucking favorite thing, bro. Because
Drop it on me, dog.
I love cars, right? And that's
Who doesn't?
right. Well, this is part of my vision, right? I'm gonna have all of them, and I talk about this. Be like, well, instead of that $3,000 a month Lamborghini payment, did you know that you can actually invest $3,000 a year into the S&P 500, and then by the end of 40 years, when you're 65, you'll have fucking.
And then you know what I say? Well, hey, buddy, did you know that I invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in the S&Me 500? Fuck off, dude. I put all the money that you can't see into myself and my development. And so that's why I've got what I've got. What are you driving, bro? I call them critics with no credentials.
Yeah.
Until you're listen, I love that people are like, hey, listen, maybe they're trying to give some advice. Okay, but instead of giving me advice, why don't you take the advice? If you're doing better than me, 100% I'm gonna listen to you. 100%. I'll take your advice and I'll look at it and I'll say, if I take this advice, and Wes Watson said this, if I take your advice and I become like you, do I become better or worse than myself? I call them critics with no credentials.
Yeah.
And so if you want to tell me this, that, the other, and the third, you better be doing something better than me so I can learn from you.
Yeah.
If not, then you're just talking shit, and then I might have some time that later. I might have some Twitter fingers.
Definitely. Dude, you know what I love? You know what I love about Wes Watson? I come back and I fucking listen to his shit like once a month. He gets me fired up. I love that fucking guy.
I can't do it too much because then it goes from tossing the pin on the grenade to fucking just drone strikes.
Just blowing shit up, bro.
Dude.
Listen to this, bro. He says, one thing I love is we're talking about, hey, if I take your advice and become like you, am I gonna be better or worse? And it was funny because it was on this episode of Brad Lee's podcast, and he was like, bro, you couldn't pay me $10 billion to wake up and be Warren Buffett for even a second. And I was thinking about that because most people are like, oh, bro, if I could have all the money Warren Buffett had. But look at Warren Buffett's life, bro.
Warren Buffett lives in the same house that he grew up in and he eats McDonald's every day.
Exactly.
Bro's got more money than he knows what to do with, but is he like, yeah, he's built Berkshire Hathaway. He's built something amazing. I love it. But like,
I don't want to be that dude.
I mean, I like being. I'd be cool with not having the money and just being able to have what I have now.
Yeah.
Because I'm 22 years old, jacked. I'm fucking busting out of my fucking suit here. My fucking quads are about to rip to these pants. Got a great life, great team, great company, and yeah. I mean, you couldn't dangle that carrot in front of me, and I wouldn't chase it.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, dude. I'm never gonna be like, oh, that man's got more money than me. He's better than me. Great, I love it. But are you winning in all areas?
Yeah.
Because my money is gonna come later. I already know it. Like, I already know it. My deal is I'm gonna do everything right up in advance beforehand, so that when the money comes, I know that I can keep it, scale it, and maintain it.
Yes.
Because most people are gonna be like, oh, I want the money, I want the money, I want the money. But as I said, you don't become a millionaire until you do and build what a millionaire.
Not to
does.
mention, bro, you give that fucking person $1 million, they're gonna fucking lose all that shit.
100%.
Like, you don't know how to have $1 million yet, bro.
That's why every lottery winner has end up broke.
Exactly.
Or in Chapter 13 bankruptcy.
They're all fucking miserable.
Yeah, like why would you give somebody the end result without the pain and the trials and the tribulations of knowing what it took to get it?
Yeah.
Like we're building our company right now, and the first 2 years, I mean, dude, it was dude, we were grinding, bro. Like we're putting in that work, we're putting in them hours, and it's just now to the point where I've got a sales team. I'm now a sales leader. I've got guys who are older than me that I help lead on the sales team, and so my thing is I need to become better every single day so that I can lead more people. So then, me as a leader, Andy made me a leader. Okay, leaders make leaders, and then leaders have to make more leaders. And we're all just forgetting about the fact that, like, dude, you might not be a leader today, but you're a future leader tomorrow. What does your story look like? Like, did you build a badass story, or did you just play it comfortable and make it easy? And then next thing you know, you stayed there with enough time and tenure on the resume that they made you a leader, but you don't know what it takes to become that winner in the company. Like, that's the thing that I see about the car business. is that people will be there for 10, 15 years and they'll just hang out. They'll go be a sales guy, then a sales manager, then a finance manager, a general sales manager, and then they'll get their own store as a general manager just because they've been there so long. They've just been average their entire time, but they stayed in one spot long enough. Like, forget that. I want the guy who's young, who's ready to freaking kill it, young in business, young in age, or young in spirit. I don't care if you're freaking 60 years old and you feel like you're 16 and you want to go kill it. Dude, you got it. But I want those guys who want to compress time frames and go do what takes other people 10 years, do it in a year.
Oh, yeah.
But understand that it's not the instant gratification. It's the fact that you want to go do what other people think is impossible. Go make it possible. Go push yourself in the red, okay? Because pressure breaks diamonds or bursts pipes.
Yeah.
We're about creating diamonds. And if you can do that, then you can prove to other people and show other people and lead other people to do exactly what you've done.
Yeah.
Imagine a business where, let's say it took you 10 years to learn what you know, but you could teach somebody it in 8. And then that guy learns it in 8. And then doesn't that guy be able to then at that point be able to show him just a little bit faster?
Yeah.
And a little bit faster and a little bit faster. Next thing you know, you've got an empire where the guy comes in and it's a year and a half, 2 years later, and he's able to operate at the level that you were when you were leading the first guy.
Right.
And as things go on, we evolve, we get better. And guess what? You've got guys who are a year, 2 years in your company, and they're freaking crushing it. They don't have to go through that pain of not knowing what to do. Because when I first started, it took me 6 months with Andy to really like start to get the hang of it and like understand like what am I really doing? Because dude, we're all just figuring it out together. Andy's not a businessman. Andy is a sales professional who's motivated, fired up, and just ready to kill it and attack any problem that he gets in front of him. It doesn't matter. But the deal is he's just willing to. He's on the floor with us 24/7. He leads from the front. And so with us, we're like, dude, we're just gonna problem solve it together. We made some mistakes. We made some great things that turned out. We're like, dude, this is freaking wicked. Oh my God. Then we also made some mistakes. We get it, but we own it. We take it on the chin. We rock and roll. And you know, for that first 6 months, for me, it was a struggle. Now a guy can walk in our company and after 3 days, he can start making himself some freaking money.
It's because you guys got a process, bro.
We've got it processed. We've got TTPs, okay? This is what the military talked about: tactics, techniques, and procedures. And we know exactly what we're doing every single day. You know, we're here to change lives. We're here to help make people better, here to pep talk, motivate, and inspire the world. And the way that we do that is by giving them the skill set necessary so they can own their life at work, so they can take care of that. If you take care of your work life, if that's great, then you've got enough energy to take care of your home life. If you've got enough energy to take care of your home life, then your personal life gets better. And then if all of those areas are great, guess what? You'll become a new human being. You're going to build the new habits, the new mindset, and the new skill set to dominate any adversities that come into your life. You're unstoppable at that point because the man or woman that can self-correct is forever wealthy. Spiritually, monetarily, it doesn't matter. You're able to be just worth whatever you want to be worth.
Absolutely. And you know what? That journey of like becoming that and building yourself up, like whether it's physically, spiritually, whatever it is, that's the fun shit, dude.
Dude, that's the fun stuff. Like, that's the journey. Like, that's the actual part that I care about is the journey. Like, you know what? If you're like, Jacob, you know what, dude?
You know, in 2 years, you're going to have custom suits and French cuffs with your name put on them.
Okay, that's great, dude. Cool. Now that I got it, I don't really give a shit. I just put it on like a normal shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I put it on like a normal dress shirt. I put the suit on like a normal dress suit. Like, it doesn't really matter. But I remember, like, Jacob, what did you actually accomplish to get to that point where you've got a tailor on standby where you can text him like, hey, dude, I need a new suit for New York. And then guess what? The guy already got that. He's got everything.
Got my measurements, bro.
He's
In
got-
fact, he might need to make the fucking sleeves a little bit bigger.
He might have to, bro.
Fucking-
If I keep on putting up this weight, bro, I mean, the next thing you know, I'm gonna be.
Yo, hey, how important is it to be fucking physically fit, be
It's
jacked?
absolutely everything. It's absolutely everything. Okay, because your body can sustain and support a powerful mind. Like, because the mind is one of those things that like can go. It can. There can be some demons up in there that will pull you off your path that really make it to where you struggle. Like that mental is everything. But the way that you beat that out of you is that you start to dominate what you truly can control. Like, I don't care how much money somebody got. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Guess what? They've got billions, but they can't buy an amazing body. You can't
Nobody
buy your
can.
health. That's the one thing that you have 100% control over. Once you get out of the gym, once you get out of what you eat and stuff in your face, guess what? Then you start losing that percentage of control to other worldly variables, like your friends, your family, your business, your leads, whatever it is. You start to lose control. So if I can control every little aspect of that and I can win that battle every single day, number one, I know that I can win almost any other battle out there. Because if I don't show up, then guess what? Nothing happens. With your business, you might take a week off and your business will still be there when you get back because you put some team in there, because you got some control out of there. But if you take a month off of eating right, hitting the gym, then, dude, you're going to lose that. And there's only one fault to blame. It's you. And so you've got to build that powerful body. And also, your confidence is going to go up.
Exactly.
So it's going to help that mental. If anybody says that we don't judge a book by its cover, you've got one chance to make a great first impression. When I walk into a room, do people go, dude, that guy's cut. That guy looks good in that suit. That's a fitted fucking suit.
That guy fucking respects himself.
That guy actually cares about what he looks like to the world, the way he presents himself, and he cares that he's trying to be on this earth for a really long time. He puts in the work. And guess what? I know that I'm not going to do business with somebody that can't show up and keep their word to themselves. Because how are they going to keep their word to me when there's nothing that holds them accountable? If you can't show up and take care of yourself, like, no, I'm not fat shaming, whatever it is, but I'm saying this out of love.
I am.
I say it out of love, bro. Like, why would you go build this amazing empire in this business and then go die early and then lose it all and then pass it on to somebody else? Like, imagine you became worth $100 million. You got that in the bank. You got a beautiful wife, family, kids, house, cars, everything's paid off. Living the freaking dream. It's a fantasy world. You die at 40. And then some other dude gets to go marry your wife, go enjoy the fruits of your labors and your spoils, gets your bank account, gets your cars, your houses, gets your wife, gets your bed, gets to raise your kids. He doesn't have to do anything, but he just shows up.
Jesus Christ.
How did that feel?
Fucking awful, man.
Yeah.
Actually, I just barely went to that place.
Yeah, you just went to that place. So guess what? If you don't take care of your body, that's an absolute probability and possibility of what could happen. And so I want to make sure that if I go put in all this work and I go change all these lives, I want to make sure that I'm around for a really long time to hear all the testimonials play out, unfold, but also so that I can have what I've put on this earth for as long as humanly possible. Everybody says, they want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Okay? Well, the deal is I've built heaven on earth, and I plan on being here for a really long time.
Fucking A, bro. That right there. I love that shit. I built heaven on earth. Absolutely, dude. Dude, and here's the thing, bro. You can do that. You can fucking do that. You can
100%.
You can think about, hey, what is it? What does my perfect life look like? All right, motherfucker, let's start doing this, and I like this. Is what I'm saying is, I did that. Like
You've done it. You've done it. I'm gonna put everybody through a paradigm shift right now. Think about where you're at, what you're doing, whatever it is that you're watching this on YouTube, watch this on your laptop, your phone, whatever it is. You're in the car. Think about your fantasy world right now. Okay, what do you drive? What do you wear? What do you look like? Are you tatted, cut up? Like, what does your wife look like? Or husband look like? What does your house look like? Your job look like? What is fantasy? Okay, that just by yourself fantasy when you're like in the shower, you're like thinking like, oh my God, yes. What does that feel like? Okay, you know that feeling that you get when you're starting to envision that? Boom. Let's say it happens. Well, guess what? Like, everything in this world's been possible. Why is a guy like Jeff Bezos worth that much money? Because he believed himself. But, like, think about all the things that you want in your life. Why are you so different? Like, it's not the fact that you're so special that you can't have it. Bro, the fact that you think that you can't have it is insanity. I think that I'm so special that I can have it, that I can't be like one of those people. Because if I'm going to give myself that, like for golfers out there, they give themselves a handicap because they can't, get it in the hole in so many strokes. Well, the deal is I'm not going to give myself any handicaps before I can even go play the game. Like, why am I going to tell myself I can't build an empire like Jeff Bezos? Why can't I drive this, why can't I have 9 Lamborghinis like I'm Brad Lee? Why can't I build an amazing team and culture like I'm Andy Elliott? Why can't I be fired up like these guys? Why can't I have that? Why would I start my day off like that? Why? Is there any value in doing that?
Fuck no, there's not.
Fuck no. I would rather be known as a guy who thought so big that people thought that I was crazy. And let's say I get half of my crazy ass goal, that's still 3 times bigger than your small ass goal.
Absolutely. And you know what, bro? People are gonna say you're fucking crazy.
Good.
Please
do.
Absolutely.
Please call me crazy.
And you know what? And all that is, I'm gonna tell you guys, that's just their own insecurities that they're projecting on top.
You know what that is? Go to a dark room with nobody in the room. Actually, you know what? Make it a dark room. Let's say we're in a stadium, a big ass 360 stadium. There's 50,000 people. Let's say that's your life and your friends and your relationships. Go have goals that are so big, put them out there in the world, and then imagine it's a dark ass stadium and somebody just puts that flashlight on. they're like, oh, that's a crazy goal, or maybe you should not think about that. Maybe it's, your mom like, oh, sweetheart, you know what happened, last time you tried opening up a business, or hey, don't move across the country because we're not going to be able to see you. All of that stuff, all that negativity, people pulling you off your path, that's like being in a dark room and they just put a flashlight and just held it up. You know exactly who you don't need to be around. Call me crazy, please. Call me out. Say, Jacob, dude, listen, you dream too big, bro. You're not going to win. You're not going to go get that. You know what I'm going to say? Now I know who I can talk about my goals to. Now I know who I can get close to.
Yes.
Because if you're going to tell me straight to my face that you don't want me to see me win at the level I want to win, I don't want to be next to you.
It's because you believe I can't do it.
Yeah, you.
I'm not being around that fucking.
Why do I want to
energy.
be around dream killers?
Yeah,
Dude, that's like giving yourself freaking a disease you can't cure yourself. Like, it makes no point. Like, that's just that is the dumbest thing that you could possibly do.
Right. And I'm tell you what, bro, this is something I realized very recently as I started shattering all these limiting beliefs. All of a sudden I thought to myself, why can't I fucking be a billionaire? Why can't my podcast become more popular than Joe Rogan's? Why can't I have fucking every single thing I want to? Because all of those other people who've done that, they're just like fucking me. We're made out of the same shit. And all they did was fucking figure out an idea of something they want, reverse engineer, figure out the steps they need to take, what daily actions do I need to do, and over time, compounded, you're going to get it.
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, we're all made out of the same stuff, just cut from different cloth.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, we're all made from the same stuff, but we wear that different cloth. We got different life resumes. We've got different disciplines, habits. We've got different ways that we go believe about ourselves. And so, I mean, dude, if somebody's out there and they're a billionaire, somebody's like Joe Rogan when it comes to his podcast, I'm looking at it like the guy's human. He went through probably the same self-doubt that I went through, but he still had it. The reason why he is who he is because he believes that he could have what he's got. And he still thinks that he can get more. And so somebody else can do it. Why can't I?
Not to mention, bro, they've already paved the path for you. Like, they've already, like you said, some guy can go build a business in 10, they'll show you how to do it in 8. Like, bro, I've already seen it be done before. Like,
literally go look at what they've done and reverse engineer it. That's it. Go reverse engineer it.
You can do that for anything in your life.
Absolutely any business that's out there. Anybody who's a real winner. Now, there's going to be a lot of fakes and frauds and fraudulent motherfuckers out there on Instagram. Like, look at me, I'm in my garage. Which Ty Lopez is actually, everybody thought that he was a fraud, dude. The guy's worth millions, bro.
Yeah.
The guy's worth a lot of money. He just spent a lot of money for marketing, just like Grant Cardone did. And guess what? The people who are real winners in life, if I sat them down and I say, hey, you know what? If I was like, hey, Ty Lopez, let me ask you a question. Why did you spend all that money on advertisement? He'd be like, oh, so I can get eyeballs on me. Because you can't close what nobody knows if you don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, you can't close the buyer who's not a buyer because they don't know you from Adam or Steve. Like, you're with nobody different. But if you know who I am and I can offer you a product, I can close you.
And you know what, bro? If I put myself out there and you don't fucking like me, I don't give a shit, bro.
Hey, listen.
I don't need you, bro.
You know what I say? If you don't like me on social media, but you watch everything that I do, Instagram doesn't care if you're a hater or a lover or a fan. You're still part of my analytics, bro.
Yeah.
You're still a view. You're still a comment. You're still a share. You're still having Instagram or Facebook or TikTok get that one extra view. Then they're going to show it to somebody else who might like me. Hate on me as much as possible.
In fact, kind of obsessed.
You might be obsessed. You might be obsessed with me, Hey, listen, I it don't matter, bro. Like, if you like me, or if you hate me, but you still watch what I do, is, Andrew Tate said, is, dude, you're still a fan.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch me every single day, you're still a fan.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
It's just your fucking mind hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah.
Here's one I want to ask you. I made this fucking video. You saw it, actually. I said that I wouldn't hire a salesperson if they had an ugly boyfriend or girlfriend, right?
Oh, I love it,
I made that video, and this is the first video I've ever made that I've gotten an overwhelming amount of, like, pissed off people.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I love it. And you know what you need to do? Anybody who's like, oh my God, that is so just surface level. I can't believe you'd say you're so shallow. You know what you do? You go look at their profile. What do they look like?
Oh,
How do they carry themselves?
It can't even do it.
And if someone's like, oh, you wouldn't hire somebody because he can't get a hot girlfriend, I'd go look at his profile. I'd be like, shit, dude, I couldn't hire you either. Fuck.
Yeah, you're kind of outing yourself.
And if I had some Twitter fingers at that point, if I was on your post, I'd be like, yeah, bro, he couldn't hire you either. Like, I'm about to go stir the pot a little bit. But the deal is, man, is everybody hates it, and the reason why is because they know that it's a little bit true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. The reason why you have such a negative emotion is because you carry that about yourself.
That's what I realized, bro. I had to come to that thing because at first, bro, I wasn't feeling good about it. I was kind of like, fuck, bro. Did I like...
Oh, dude, I love it.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing is I started to move and I started to realize I was like, the reason why people are so upset is because they feel like I'm talking to them and they're looking at themselves and they're being like, fuck, like, whatever their life situation is.
Because
now they're...
You're the voice, that uncomfortable voice in the back of their head that's telling them like, oh, dude, like you're a little bit overweight, or hey, dude, you're not working as hard as you need to, or hey, dude, like, you know, maybe you settled in life. And so I love it. Like when I watched that, dude, I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, it's true. Like if you're, dude, listen, I've seen it. Some of the fattest dudes with the heaviest wallets that get the most beautiful women. It don't matter about the way that you look, bro. It's about, hey, do you believe in yourself? Because that fat dude at one point, okay, he went there in business, crushed it, built this life, and he got the beautiful woman. He can close, bro. He closed himself on go getting that. If he was like, oh, I'm going to go be a billionaire and I'm going to have me just, you know, a wife that, you know, is just going to fucking beat my ass and just, you know, be not what I want. Well, guess what, dude? He probably wouldn't have built that business in the first place.
Yep.
Now, if he's a handsome son of a gun, guess what? He's going to get a hot woman because he's going to do the things right to have that. Or if you're a woman, guess what? You're going to find what you can close. You're going to find what you can believe you can obtain.
Hey, that's what it is right there. You're going to get what you believe you can obtain.
Hell yeah. And so, like, if anybody's upset about that, guess what? Like, go look in the mirror. Like, are you 110% happy with who you are? Or do you wake up and you got a couple of regrets? You're like, maybe you're sitting there, you're like, at Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? You're just sitting there, you're on your third plate of stuffing, you're hanging out, and you know, your mom or your brother's looking at you like, dog, you got so much more. Yeah. And you're just sitting there, you're just fucking just stuffed. You're just like, dude, I can get so much more. And I think about that in business. Like, dude, I don't want to, like, when I go visit my mom back home in Arkansas, like, I can't talk to her about business because she's not a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, like, it's uncomfortable for me to go back home and talk to the people I used to talk to because I can't have the same level of dialogue that I have with you or I have with, you know, my team. And so, like, I don't even like going back home sometimes because I have to then lower myself because I've tried to get them to come up to that level. And you know, my mom, she always tries. You know, I love her to death. I'm always going to show her massive amounts of love. But I'm not going to hold a conversation with her about freaking leveling up, going crazy, freaking this, that, and the third. It just doesn't. It's just useless words. It's like throwing a freaking uncooked noodle against the wall. It's not going to stick.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, you know, with what you got going on, like if you're reading somebody's comment on Facebook or you read something on Instagram or you're watching a TikTok and it pisses you off, is there a level of truth to it?
We got to look inside yourself. Why are you pissed off about that?
Yeah, why are you upset, man? Now, guess what? If that guy was making, you know, 50 G's a month, 100 G's a month, he's got a smoke show 10, which we call them showstoppers back home. you got a showstopper, and guess what? You're driving a nice little Ferrari, whatever it is, got a big house, and like you're probably gonna laugh at that too, be like, bro, that's so true.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that and you've wanted that, because you know what? Your desires are bigger than what you have. I guarantee you. And if they are, you're going to live life in a little bit of regret because you're not putting in any action or execution towards your desires.
That's where it comes down to. Is Wes Watson talks about that too. He talks about the fucking level of like vibration, and when you desire something, but you're not actually like putting in the work to get it, that's fucking low vibrational, bro. That is like super low. Like you gotta.
Fuck, it's been a minute since I've watched some Wes. What's his is it your frequency is what you
Your frequency is what you frequently see.
That dude, I heard that once and I was like, damn, that's powerful. Because I mean, what you're putting your execution and like your action and your decision and your thinking towards, like that's what you're gonna get.
It's your life.
Like
it's literally that's what it is.
I said this yesterday. I was with Danny and
the GOAT, by the way. Shout out Danny.
Big shout out Danny. I love you, dog. But I was sitting there and I was, you know, he was doing this Tactical Thursday Zoom call. We just kind of sat down in the podcast room and he was asking me some questions. And somebody was like, hey, like, you know, you're the product of, you know, everything that you've had in your life. Like, and I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like, that's it. Like, if you bake a cake and the cake turns out to be shit, well, there's probably a bad ingredient in there. And so your life is the product of the ingredients that you put in. So if you've got a bad habit, you got a bad product. If you got a bad mindset, you got a bad product. You're just baking the bad cake. Like you can't have everything be right. Do it by the book, do it right. Have the right ingredients that are still great. They're freaking fruitful. They're winning. and then it just magically turns out to be bad. Like,
Yep.
that's
Doesn't happen.
No, there's a universal law. There's a cause and effect. The cause is that, you know what? I go do everything right. The effect is I get what's right.
Yeah.
Success loves an honest critic. And so if you don't have what you want, guess what? Go look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And go be honest.
And something I want to say to everybody is that I've had to fucking do this. I've had to look in the mirror and be honest with myself and be like, I'm fucking up here, here, here. That shit got to go. Like, I can't be fucking doing that anymore. And I got to make that change.
Oh, 100%, dude. And I'm not going to sit here on sitting on like I'm on some high horse. Like I'm untouchable, dog. No, dude, there's mornings where I wake up and I don't want to get up. Like there's days where I don't want to go to the gym. There's days where, I get a heat case, because maybe somebody didn't get the results that they thought they can get, and I got to get on the phone with them and tell them, like, hey, listen here, like, guy, like, it's not going to happen in 2 days. And I got to go break it to him like that. Or whatever it is. Maybe I have, a cheat day, and I feel kind of disgusting afterwards. Like, I got to live with that. Like, I have moments of that vulnerability where I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't do that. Or, hey, you know what? I just need to, just jock up and go. Because we're all just humans. Like, nobody's perfect. Let the first perfect person cast that first stone.
Yeah.
Like, we all walk around with a stone full of pockets, or with a pocket full of stones. I'm just fucking get my words flipped up. But we all walk around with that pocket full of stones, so we can just toss them at everybody else. But like, dude, just drop that and let's just focus on like what we're actually doing.
Absolutely.
Like, nobody actually cares past that moment.
Yeah.
Like. I had somebody that I was talking to. They're like, man, it's weird for me to, get out there on social media because I was always that like awkward kid when I was in high school. And, I had a couple of embarrassing moments. And I was like, call one of them right now and ask them if they remember that embarrassing moment when you're in the 8th grade. Ask them.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, see if he remembers. And he was like, oh, okay. So guess what? He gets on the phone with them. He's like, hey, you know what, man, this is so out of the blue, but you remember that moment where I was sitting there and like I fell and like I landed on my lunch tray and food got all over me in 8th grade? He was like, no, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, you don't? And I was like, no. Like, when was that? Like 8th grade? I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, man, it was 8th grade. Remember? Nope, I don't remember that. Calls me back and goes, yo, he doesn't remember that. And I'm like, yeah, because you've remembered it. Like, I'm sorry, but your one embarrassing moment, you're not that important to where everybody in the world just wanted to remember your one of your low moments.
Exactly.
You just won't forget it. You just made that part of yourself. So if nobody else remembers that, just let it go.
It's the spotlight effect, dude.
Yeah.
You have to realize that you are your own biggest critic. Like, you are the only one that's really worried about whatever the fuck you are doing. Like, I mean, because I know that. Like, I used to walk around and I used to, like, kind of think, like, oh, what, like, maybe, like, what's that person thinking? But it's, dude, they're worried about their own goddamn self.
Yeah,
man.
everybody walks around with this motto, it's my world, you're just living in it.
Yes.
That's it. And so if everybody is collectively thinking that, like, I'm sorry, but you're not going to have that one, like, random moment that you remember that made you embarrassed that won't get you on social media to help level up your life. Like, nobody's going to remember that.
Right.
So, like, you have this thing called allodoxophobia. Bradley talked about it when...
What's that word?
Allodoxophobia. It's
Allodoxophobia.
Allodoxophobia. It's the fear of what other people think about you. And it's a real thing. And so, like, you literally have that. Like, your life is being dictated by what other people's thoughts and feelings are.
Yeah.
Like, dude, who gives a shit? Just go out there and go do what you want to do.
Well, look, and if you stay true to yourself, and here's where people can get fucked up, is because if they go on social media,
fuck them up real quick,
and they start to do this thing, but it's not true to them, like they're playing a part or something like that, then yeah, bro, you're gonna get fucking shit on. But as long as everything you're doing is in line with yourself, your own core values, you'll never have that fucking problem.
You'll be fine. But one thing I do love is that people are like, well, Jacob, I'm trying to become this person, but what if, I'm a fraud because I'm not that person yet? And I'm like, okay, you're going to go through imposter syndrome. I love imposter syndrome. Like, if every day I wake up, like, I tell myself that I have accomplished what I've needed to accomplish and that I can do so much more every single day. And so I walk around, like, there's days where I have that imposter syndrome and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, starting to feel like I'm a fucking fraud by what I tell myself. But I love that because that means that I'm thinking so big. It
means you're leveling up, dude.
Hell yeah. And so people are like, well, what if I'm a fraud and I'm not there yet? Well, I have a question. Will you get there one day? And they're like, well, yeah. Okay, so your future self, if that's going to be who you are, that's your future reality. Well, why don't we start acting like that person today so we can just shorten the time frame between your future reality and your present reality? And so if you're like one of those people that are dealing with imposter syndrome, but you're doing what's right and like what's actually good for the world, that's what matters.
Yes.
Like, what's the intention behind it? Are you doing it to build this facade and lie to the world to fucking grab their money and make it a little quick little cash grab? Well, then I hope that your plane crashes and burns. Like, I hope that high that you're riding right now, just it crashes and burns, like the market, for a lot of people. But those that are doing what's right with great intentions and they want to see other people win and they're going to do it in a way that other people feel empowered being around you, then I really hope that, you never have that moment where you start to have that crash and burn feeling. Like, I hope that your life is prosperous because you want what's great for other people. Like, that's why, like, I would never wish anything bad upon you, dude, because I know that you're going to have, every single day, you're going to have that mindset of, I want to go be great for myself, my people, my family, my team, my company, and for the people that I serve.
Yeah.
That's all you care about. There's some people out there that need a little bit of life adversity, that little bit of spice in their life, that life resume to be built. But those that do it with great intentions, I just hope that every moment for them is just pure effort, like it's just effortless to win for them people. Like, that's what I truly want.
Well, and dude, when you're able to shift and when you can change your purpose to where it is truly about helping other people, because I can tell you, like in the beginning, I was in it for myself. I was like, how the fuck can I make a lot of money? Once I shifted, and I'm like, how can I make sure my people make a lot of money? How do I make sure that these guys fucking win and they get their goals? All of a sudden, bro, everything, it becomes, like you said, it's effortless, man.
Effortless. And you know what? The crazy thing is, I'll never remember the money that I deposited into my bank, but I'll remember the checks that I seen others cash.
Yeah. Dude, that's a good point, man.
Like, I don't give a fuck about the money. Like, it's cool. Like, it's great. It's in there. Like, cool. It's. But when I see that person, like, on my team get that check, that's like the biggest one they've ever seen in their life, and they're like, they just look at that thing like,
holy fuck.
Wow, fucking dude. Oh my God. I wish I can relive those moments. I wish that I can have one of those moments every single moment of the day. And that's the life that I'm building. I want a team so big that is what it looks like every single day.
Yeah.
That somebody's coming up to me like, dude, I can't believe I did that. And it's like, I can. Like, that's what I like to see. I'll never remember those moments of that check being cash for me. I won't. I don't care. But I truly will like relive those moments of like you getting yours because I know what I'm doing it for. I'm not just like, I'd rather get a little from a lot than a lot from myself.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're playing the game just to win for you, which most people, you don't have a team yet, you don't have a business, you don't have that, you've got to be selfish to a certain degree at the start. You've got to make sure that you can do it what you're going to ask others to do. Like, you've got to be able to lead by example. Don't be a fraud. If you're going to be a leader, do what you do in the past and currently what you expect other people to do. So you got to be a little bit selfish in that aspect. But when it starts to being to where you can have a team and you can have people that you lead, you know that you've been there, done that. I filled those shoes and I crushed it. I know I can get you to do the same. And then that's what you focus on. And what you focus on magnifies. And if you can magnify your team, make them better and enhance them, dude, you're going to live a great life regardless.
Absolutely.
And so, my goal is right now that I'm doing 3 things. I'm making sure that I'm growing my body, growing my mindset, all of that, make sure I'm eating right, taking care of that. And then I'm putting a lot of effort and time, energy, and capital, those 3 worldly investments that you've got to make every single day to something, to the right things or the wrong things. Time, energy, and capital. Those are the 3 investments that everybody has to make every day, okay? Well, guess what? I'm putting that towards the training, putting that towards my team, my business, my brand, my social media, all of those aspects. And that's all I'm focusing on right now. And taking care of the new clients that come on, make sure that they get the wins that they need. And that's it. Like, that's my world right now. Like, everyone's like, Jacob, when do you make time for yourself? It's like, what are you talking about?
That is myself.
Yeah, that's me. Like, what are we talking about? Like, me showing up and doing, like, that's me. Like, people are like, oh, Jacob, you work too much. It's like, I don't work at all. I tell people what I've been through, and they respect it, and they go do it, and they go get life change. Dude, that's freaking amazing. Like, I don't show up to work. Like I'm there. I'm like, it's just like, oh, it's just a part of Jacob's day.
That's the thing. I can't tell you when the shift exactly happened, but like I don't even like saying the word like I'm going to work.
Dude, I can't. It's funny.
It's there's fucking negative vibes in that.
Like it was I think it was Wednesday this week. Yeah, it was Wednesday when I was out there in Phoenix doing this other podcast, and I wore a little gray suit, and some lady comes up to me, she goes, "What do you do for work?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, the W word? And she was like, yeah, like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, well, I can't even call it work. Like, I can't even call it a job.
It's what I do.
Like, it's just my life. Like, this is my life. He's like, okay, so then what do you do with your life? And I'm like, I change other people's. That's it. I change other people's lives. Greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And so like, it's hard. Like, and you know it. You know it. Like when you're sitting there, like if you're trying to tell people what you do, to put into words what you do yourself with a team and your company, and you have so much love into it, it's hard to put it into words. Like obviously, yeah, like when you're talking to a client, you can tell them exactly like what the actual end result is, what's going to happen, you know, X, Y, Z. But when you're just like in passing and someone's like, hey, explain your business.
Yeah. You know what I like? What I've been saying? What do you do, Tyson? I make people money. That's what I do.
I make other people money.
Yeah. That's what I like to do, man. That's what we are doing, bro. That's why I'm making my team money. We're fucking making the people who buy our investments money. That's what we're doing.
And that's it, bro. Like there's nothing I love more. Like all of my relationships, all they do enhance my life. That's it. The relationships of people that I have, they enhance my life. Either I can learn something from you can learn something from me, but we're both going to grow by knowing each other. And we might make a couple of moves, we might make a couple of investments, we might make some money together, and guess what? Life's good. Life's great for everybody. If you don't want, like, the saddest thing that I've ever seen is like somebody's friend will become an entrepreneur, and that other friend who's just, you know, being, you know, doing what they do, working a salary job or hourly job, no hate against it. But let's say it's a restaurant. They bring some friends over. They're like, hey man, give me that friend discount. You know, like give me that homie discount, that HBO discount to help a brother out. And then guess what? That friend, they respect the relationship. They're gonna do it, but they lose money by doing that.
You're stealing that right out of your friend's pocket.
And I tell people that. I've had conversations. I'm like, let me ask you a question. If your boy came up to you and literally stole, let's say $50 out of your back pocket, and you knew that he did, and you didn't care, would you still be friends with that person? And they're like, what do you think they say?
No.
Like, no, he stole from me. Okay, you leveraging your relationship for your gain and their loss, you're stealing from them, bro. So how about you go do this? How about you go pay what everybody else pays, and then go leave a little bit of a bigger tip for the waitress and their team? How about you go enhance their lives? Stop trying to take away. Like, if somebody comes up to me like, hey, Jacob, dude, I've known you for years, man. Give me a little discount on that training. It's like, if you don't pay the money, you don't pay attention. You pay the money like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Don't give me that bullshit. If I let you discount the cost to get across the bridge, then you're going to fucking discount your dreams and your goals. That's all you're going to do.
Not to mention, bro, come on, man. If I give you a discount right now, I'm just going to be teaching you to fucking start getting, like, that goes against what I'm teaching you, bro. You want to learn how to sell?
Yeah, bro.
Teaching you to fucking give discounts.
I'm teaching you to fucking close, and you want a discount? How about you get closed on the fact that if you expect others to pay full price, you got to pay full price. Yeah. People buy the way that you fucking buy, okay? And you need to sell the way that you buy. So if you buy and you're always asked for a discount, well, guess what? You can't sell at full price. You got to be able to. You're gonna have to give discounts, because if you expect it in your life, others expect it from you. Yeah. And dude, I know it. I know, like, I'm a lay down. Like when I bought my truck, dude, like they're like, hey Jacob, it's this your monthly payment. This is what you're putting down, and I'm like, okay, cool, guy. Like, let's go to finance. They're like,
dude, closers are the easiest people.
Oh, dude, if you can't close a closer, like somebody who knows what they're doing, then dude, you're really bad at what you do. Cause I give my business, I'll pay more money for a better experience from somebody who I know is an actual closer. And that's actually what happened. I went, kind of a little story about the truck. There was two that were exactly like it. One was literally 20 minutes from my house. Another one was like an hour and a half away. I went to the one that was 20 minutes because I was like, I'm gonna save a little bit of time. It's the exact same F-250, no difference. Same miles, same price, everything. And I go up there, and it took a sales guy 20 minutes to literally go say hi to me at that store. I drove it. It was nice, and I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, I should have left. But I gave the guy a chance, and what I did is I kind of hit him on a couple of objections. I was like, hey, man, I appreciate it. I just got to think about it. And he was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Here's my business card. I'm like, oh, my. Okay, cool. So I went down the road. I called this dealership, and I'm like, hey, have this truck pulled up in front. And they're like, okay, cool. And it's funny because I walked up, and the sales guy knew who I was. He goes, dude, are you with Andy Elliott? And I'm like, yeah, I am. He goes, oh, my. Dude, this is freaking crazy. Guess what? He's giving me everything. He's fired up. He fillets the truck out on the test drive. He's like, dude, forget the test drive route. Let's go take this thing off road. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you're going to get in trouble? He goes, I don't give a fuck. He goes, I want to have fun. And I'm like, okay, we're taking this thing off road. We're having a little bit of fun. That's what it's built for. And so we're taking this thing through a little dirt up there in Surprise, up there in Surprise, Arizona. We're taking this thing to the dirt. I'm freaking hitting some, some some drifts and stuff. I you know, it's mine now. So guess what? Like, the
Right.
dealership can't get too mad at old boy. I did buy it, but we're having, dude, great time. And we get done, dude. I sit down and he's like, hey, so, let's go get you some numbers. And I was like, man, I got to think about it. He goes, listen, Jacob, you can think about it all you want, but until I give you what it looks like to actually own this thing, you're just going to think about the truck and not going to think about what it costs. Let's go. And I'm like, good man. Good man. I sit down and guess what? Give him all my information. He comes up to me, first pencil. I didn't even look at it. I just signed. I'm like, I'm buying it. I know that it's going to cost money. If it costs a little bit more than what I expected, okay, great. I just do my job. Do my job at a higher level, and then I don't have to worry about the money. I'm not going to be dictated by that. Yeah. I made sure the guy made money. Okay, he made a good little commish, and guess what? I drove out of there. Yeah. The guy from the other store, he calls me a couple of days later. He's like, "Hey, Jacob, did you get a chance to think about it?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I bought one down the road that same day." And he was like, "Wait, did you really?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. It took you 20 minutes to say hello. There was no energy, there was no fun, and it was actually miserable being there. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to make sure that you get paid for barely showing up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I buy the way of what I expect out of my people. My standards are high. But if you're a professional, you want to get treated like a professional, like baseball player or football player. You don't want to get treated like a t-ball player where it doesn't matter if you swing, miss, we had fun, everybody gets a participation trophy, and then we're getting ice cream after.
Yeah.
No, dude, this is real life. Like, your money and your family and everybody, they depend on you. And so if they depend on you, well, I'm going to push you to go get more.
Yeah.
And so that's that, dude.
Dude, I really like that analogy of like, bro, this is your profession, motherfucker. You are a professional. I love that, comparing it to like a professional athlete or something like that.
Because the expectations and the standards are still there. You get paid to play.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, let's say Sunday night, the NFL, Sunday Night Football. It don't matter what you do Monday through Saturday because the results show on Sunday. In business, okay, what you do before you walk into the office and what you do after you walk in the office is Monday through Saturday of practice. We put points on the board every single day in business, so every day is our Sunday. How I know if you're actually practicing is, what do the points look like? Are you putting any up at all? Or are you really exceeding expectations? Or are you just freaking blowing it out the water? Well, then I know your Monday through Saturday of practice, you're putting in that work. You're getting the reps, you're getting the sets, and you actually care about what you do. So then when it's time to play the game, you're able to show out. I love that. That means you're doing what's right. It's your expectations. It's literally your life. And if you can't do that right, like if you can't do the small things right, I don't want to be around that. Yeah. And what's even funnier is I signed up that dealership, the one that had the bad salesperson. They're on the platform for a month, and they call me like, "Yeah, no. We just, my people aren't using it." And I'm like, dude, I'm like, number one, where were you the last 3 weeks? And he goes, oh, I was in Vegas. I was like, dude, you're their leader and you're gone all the time? Yeah, bro, when the cat's away, the mouse come to play. Yeah. Non-use isn't a training problem. Lack of leadership is the cause of not fucking using the training. Like, you can't lead your people, bro.
Yeah.
So guess what? Your people are just wandering around aimlessly, and then now you're going to tell them to go do something that you're not going to do themselves, or that you're not going to do yourself. Yeah, bro, that's going to last a day. They're going to be fired up in front of your face, but then when I pull your training report, and I go, dude, why aren't your people training? And I look at yours over the last how long you've had the platform.
Yeah, you
and
touched it.
Yeah, they haven't logged in. I'm like, bro, like, you have to inspect what you expect. And so if you expect your people to get better, you've got to go do it. Like, you've got to get better yourself. Like, in the car business, if it's a Saturday, if you show up late to a Saturday morning meeting, bro, you're getting rode up and getting sent home. Like, that's just the way that it is. At least that's what it was at the store I was at, and 90% of the stores out there. If you show up late twice, guess what, bro? Like, you're canned. Go home. Pack your desk. Like, you obviously don't care. Saturday's our selling day. That is our big hitting day of the month or the week. Yeah. Well, guess what? If you have the expectation of you be here on Saturday on time for the meeting, and then there's the repercussions of what happens if you don't, well, guess what? People don't show up late on Saturdays. They know that there's repercussions.
Right.
Is your expectation in your company to get better every day?
It is.
Okay, well then what's the repercussions if they don't?
Fucked.
Well, not even that. Do they get fired? Do they get rode up? Do they get reprimanded?
I mean, we have that was something we implemented when it came to, like, we have our standards of excellence, and it's like, if you don't meet
this is why your team's going to win, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't meet these, then you clearly don't meet the standard.
And guess what? The standard is the standard for a reason. Your company you can only build a company up to the lowest level of toleration of standards.
Yes.
So if your standards suck, what do you think your company is? Probably sucks. If your standards are very high, people are like, oh, dude, that's a very high standard you got there. It's like, okay, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you want the guys who are going to show up in the middle of the night to be able to take care of you and your family and make sure that everything happens no matter what time you call? Like, if I'm an HVAC company and let's say your water heater blows up in your house and it's 3 in the morning, do you want the company that's going to show up at 3:30 to fix that fucking water heater, make sure that your family's got hot and cold water for when they're waking up, and nobody knows that you were there? I'm just like an assassin in the night. And the next thing you know, your kids wake up, they're able to take hot showers before they go to school. Do you want that company or you want the guys who are like, oh, yeah, we'll schedule you 3 weeks out?
Yeah.
Who do you want? They're like, oh, I want the guy at 3:30 to drop everything that they're doing. Okay, great. My standards are that. Your standards are that. Why are you giving me fucking shit the fact that I make sure that my standards are that? If you expect that, well, guess what? I've got to inspect what causes that. High standards. So don't get on my ass because my standards are high so I can deliver even better for you.
Absolutely.
Who cares? And if anybody gives you shit about your standards, you know what you need to do? Boo them out of your life.
Fuck them. Dude, you know what's funny? We're talking about Saturday, bro. You ever had somebody be, oh man, dude, you gotta work on Saturday?
Oh man, you gotta work on Saturdays, man, dude. What? Come on, bro. Don't. Let's go out, bro. It's Friday.
Yeah, bro. No. Like I had that all the time in the car business. They were like, Jacob, well, dude, man, we got a party to go to. It's Friday. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I ain't going. They're like, come on, come out one time. You never come out. And I'm like, yeah, let's do one thing. Let's compare life. Let's compare just basic life. Let's not compare money. Let's not compare this, but let's just compare life. Who's winning? They're like, oh, well, you are. And it's like, okay, well, the deal is I don't want to hold that above your head, but I've got so many spins around this beautiful thing we call the sun on this little rock that we call the earth that we've somehow colonized. And, I built my house. I built my life. Well, the deal is I've got so many of that. I'd like to have as many great ones as possible. There's never been a time that I went out and drank and partied that I woke up the next morning. I was like, yes.
Glad I did that.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm glad I spent a couple wizards at the freaking club, man, that I just blew freaking couple grand and I wake up feeling like shit. Yes, that's some adversity, baby. That's dumb. Like nobody's ever woke up and felt great that they did all that the night before. I've never met any. Have you?
I know.
Okay, well, if you are, well then, if you're watching this and you can wake up and be fucking jacked after having a night like that, dude, you're a different type of breed of person, but you're felonious, bro. Like you're doing some criminal activity. Dog. You might not be a criminal, but you're walking around life just like you know how like they got like tank tops and shit. Like you're wearing like a Wrangler's tank top, like jeans tank top energy, bro. Like straight Florida energy. And I don't want to be around that. Like that's some scary shit. And so I got a great life. I'm not gonna put anything at risk. But.
Florida.
Yeah, bro. Jean tank tops, man. Like a pair of fucking Wranglers. And you cut them up, make a little tank top. You know what I mean?
Man.
And it's not even the ones like where the straps are small. It's the ones like that cover your entire shoulder.
The whole fucking
Yeah. And then the only thing that's like popping out is your arm, but it looks like you got shoulder pads on.
Those are fat guys, sleeveless shirts.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a guy in the fucking airport wearing one of those guys.
Dude, I can't believe
It's
it.
like, holy shit. Like,
Dude, the way that people travel fucked me up, actually.
me too, dude. What the fuck's up with that shit?
Everybody travels like, oh, I travel comfortably. It's like, well, I travel like in my Elliott gear.
Dude, I gotta be the baddest motherfucker everywhere I go.
Like I'm walking out like the freaking veins are ripped. Like I got my Elliott polo on. I'm all dressed up. But like veins are ripping out. Like my bicep barely fits in it. They're like, why don't you get a bigger shirt? And it's like, cause then it'd be a fucking dress on me. Like I'm sorry, I'm 5'9", dude.
It's just how this shit goes.
I'm a short king out here, but I'm jacked. And so they literally have to make clothes that would fit my body.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry that my biceps are busting out of my shirt right now, and you're offended by it. There's a lot of great things to be offended by, and I'm glad I'm one of them right now. And so I travel the way that, I want people to perceive me. Like, do you know how many deals I've done on an airplane?
Dude, you've seen so many different people.
Like, I'll sit down on an airplane, and this is exactly what it'll look like. Hey, how you doing? I'm Jacob.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, man, what do you do for a living?
Man, I make people money.
No kidding. I do the exact same thing. Tell me a little bit about it, bro. That's awesome. And then guess what? They're like, and nobody loves talking. There's no better conversation than talking about somebody else. Because that person wants to talk about themselves. I'm like, dude, no kidding. You make other people money? Like, what do you do? Like, do you steal money from the banks and you give it to them? Are you Robin Hood or are you robbing the hood? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, no. And you'd be like, I work in real estate. And I'm like, no kidding. That's freaking amazing. Tell me about it. And then guess what? You're going to start talking about everything, and then we can both enhance each other's life. I've done so many deals on an airplane.
Yeah.
But the deal is I'm sitting there. I got a great attitude about me. I'm dressed up in my gear. I'm dressed up in a suit, and people they like look over like, what does that guy do?
You're a fucking superhero, dog.
Yeah, and it's the smallest of things. Everybody's at the airport. They're wearing tank tops. They're wearing sweats. They're just lounging. They didn't brush their hair that morning. They barely brush their teeth. They say, "Hey," you're like,
Yeah.
"Here's a fucking piece of gum, dude." But the deal is you've got to present yourself in the way that you want people to perceive you.
Standard, bro.
It's a standard.
Yeah.
And so, I know that that's a crazy example of at the airport, but dude, I've had a lot of business deals happen. Some of my closest business deals were like literally on an airplane.
Yeah.
I was once heading over to South Dakota. I was landing at Sioux Falls, and this guy that I met, his team does like actual like adjustments for roofing and life insurance. So they go out there, there's a storm that happened, it was like a blizzard, crazy shit. Team goes out there, it does like commercial insurance. His team is doing millions of dollars, but they have a hard time closing. They're very corporate, but they have that lack of sales skill. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, no kidding. I'm like, so you're looking for a sales trainer? And he goes, yeah, dude, I just can't find one. And I'm like, I'm glad that this flight's 2 hours, buddy. Pull up my laptop, I open it up. Next thing you know, I start showing him the training, showing him the platform. And he goes, how much does that cost? And I'm like, this is what it costs. He goes, can I get my team signed up? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's do this. I filled out the agreement literally on the airplane. And guess what? The guy sitting there goes, do I really have to sign that? I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, sorry. Signs into his email on my computer, signs it all up. Next thing you know, pull out the plastic, the Amex, is like typing it in. And then guess what? I get the email back. I send it over to my support team to onboard them. By the time that we land, his entire team's got logins, usernames, and passwords to our Project 500. And guess what? That guy, I'm very close with him. And I just keep on saying that guy because, well, guess what? There's tons of them.
Yeah.
Like Brian Benstark, Murat Deljanin, freaking, like, everybody out there in this world are just freaking absolute savages, but you just don't know the difference unless you say hello.
Yeah.
And most people, like, we all, how do I say this? We all just don't want to go say hi to other people. I don't know if it's like ego, entitlement, or like we're scared. Whatever it is, I want to meet everybody. I want to meet the story of every single person out there because you've seen the videos on like TikTok and Instagram, like crackhead come up to you and like drop like an absolute just a banger of a quote. And you're like, dude, like wow, like
what the fuck?
Like how where did that come from? But guess what? You can take that and you can use that advice.
Absolutely.
Like don't kill the messenger. What's the message? That's what they say, like don't shoot the messenger. Like don't kill me because I'm the messenger. Like what's my message?
Yeah.
And if you like the message and if it helps enhance your life, listen to the damn message. You don't have to make an opinion on me. Make an opinion on my message. But we're humans. We judge. As we walk into any room, everybody judge. Who's that guy? They're judging you, bro. I'm sorry. Like you're digital. It's a handshake before you make your first handshake. Like if I'm walking up to you, if there's a hallway, you're gonna judge me all the way up until we shake hands.
Yeah.
And so my first impression isn't when we finally lock hands. It's the second that
it's everything.
It's the second that you look at me.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that all my impressions are just as powerful as possible. And if you can do that, and then you've got the skill set to be able to actually solve somebody's problems and problem solve and make their life better, dude, you're gonna live a great freaking life, man. Like you don't have to be like this crazy, freak of nature. You just got to actually put a little bit of work into yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I mean, there's nothing stopping you. But if you can do that, you're gonna live a better life. And if you know that that's what you want, well, then get around people that are going to support you and push that. And if there's none, bullshit. That's why they have a phone. That's why we've got mentors. That's why we got guys like you, Andy, Brad, me, all of those savages who are out here just living the life, like putting in the actual work, doing the work so that we can have a stack of undeniable truth that we are who we say we are, present that to the world and say, listen, if you want what we've done and what we've had and help people the way that we've helped other people, come on.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
I'm open arms.
Dude, Jacob, man, I have to say, you are the true fucking embodiment of like the whole reason I started this podcast. So it's called The Rebellion.
Ooh.
And the reason why is because I noticed this trend. I noticed it in myself several years ago, right? Where I was just fucking part of, drifting along. I was rolling with the status quo. I was going to school. I studied finance.
Just checking the boxes.
Yeah, exactly, man. And one day I fucking woke up and realized that that's not for me. That there's a whole lot of life out there that I need to fucking kind of grab it by the balls and start doing my own thing, figure out how to get all that shit.
Yeah, rebel against average.
Absolutely.
Rebel
man.
against, conforming to the rest of the people out there in the world. Rebel against your little negative little mind telling you,
Oh, don't do that. Don't wake up at 4:30. You're gonna be tired at 9.
yeah, you're rebelling against everything that's stopping you from being who you want to be. And so,
Yes.
dude, that's freaking wicked, man.
Well, so hey, man, look, I'm really glad that you came on. This is gonna be fucking helpful for people.
I hope so.
It was helpful for fucking me.
I appreciate that, man. And, that's our thing, is that we're the vessels that can go out there, go to that next level, go present ourselves in ways that, people can resonate with and go, okay, if they can do it, I can too. That's all we want. We just want to stack truths and have other people's truths be looking at it and saying, okay, if they can do it, we can do it too.
Absolutely.
And if that is what we can do, well, then we're going to live a very great life. You're going to help more people. You're going to have a lot of people make a lot of money. I'm going to be able to help a lot of people with their skill set. I don't know if it's cool with you, but if people want to text me or reach out to me, can I drop that?
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Guys,
man.
if you want to be able to text me, okay, it's 480-405-3817. That's the number that I use for my Young Closers podcast. And so it goes straight to my phone. It goes to Ryan as well, Big Ryan. He's back at home holding it down with the boys for the team. But that's the number that if people want to actually get involved with what Andy's doing with the training and get close to this type of coaching, to this type of lifestyle. Because the way that I speak right now, the reason why it just comes off the cuff is because that's just who I
Dude,
am.
it is.
Like it doesn't matter where we go, what we're doing. We're the exact same people. And that's the life that we've built. I want to be able to see more people with it. It's the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, we're always getting more. We're always looking for ways to enhance. We're always looking for ways to increase. But hell, if I stopped growing right now, I wouldn't be miserable. But it feels like it was a requirement for me to stop growing. I wouldn't be miserable, but I'd be miserable just sitting around doing nothing and having the exact same thing that I have now. And so the fact that I've got more to give is just, I'm gonna go get more.
Yeah.
And so I know that there's everybody out here who's got more to give, more to grow. So, obviously follow me on Instagram at @TheRealYoungCloser and text me 480-405-3817. Text me Project 500 and I'll tell them about how they can getting involved in our group.
Guys, we talk about several things here. One thing is skill set, and one of the most important skill sets that everybody needs to develop, it doesn't matter if you're in sales, is your communication abilities, which is sales.
Yeah, it's your mouthpiece, man.
Guys, I took my team to a master closer seminar, and let me tell you, bro, it fucking rocked our world. Like that shit is gonna make us a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna help us become better communicators, and it's gonna help us change other people's lives.
Yeah.
So I'm eternally grateful for that, and I mean I don't have enough good things to say about it. So I highly recommend anybody checking it out, who's wanting to get better, who actually doesn't want to be average, wants to fucking take it to the next level, to see what they got going on over there. And so they could hit you up on Instagram, they could text you anywhere else. Oh, you guys got to check out your podcast.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
It's called the Young Closers Podcast.
Yeah, so it's you and Ryan.
Yeah, it's me and Ryan. We're on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, any Audible listening platform. We're on there as well. But we post our podcast episodes to Andy Elliott's YouTube channel. So it's Andy ELLIOTT, 2 L's 2 T's. It's his YouTube channel that we post the videos to, because that's an educational
And
channel.
you guys got to watch the videos.
You got to watch the
listen to it.
Yeah, don't
Watch the
listen to
video.
it. Watch the videos. Go see what it looks like when you're fired up and passionate about what you do. But we post on Andy's channel because it is an educational channel. It's a training channel, and so every single time that we get on there, we're just trying to drop some value. And so I've got a Young Closers podcast channel on YouTube. I just don't use it. I just post a couple reels to it, little shorts and shit.
Yeah.
But I drop everything on Andy's channel, so then that way everybody can find all of that free education that we're putting out there to the world all at one spot. You don't have to subscribe to 39 different channels.
Yeah.
We're just straight to one area, make it easy. Our goal is to just become streamlined and efficient in your growth. And so if you're in the car, listen to it, watch it, but definitely make sure that you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that, but subscribe to Andy's channel. So it's @TheRealYoungCloser on Instagram, 480-405-3817. That's my phone number. You can text me there and then get on Andy's channel to watch the actual podcast.
Right on, guys. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube right now, you better make sure you drop a like.
Hey, if you don't drop a like after we just got done dropping some heat for you guys, then that's the way that you pay it forward. I know that you're probably not monetizing or anything like that, because your whole goal is to get that value out of people. It's value in advance.
There's a reason we're out here saying fuck.
Yeah.
I want to give it to you guys real. It doesn't matter about my YouTube AdSense or whatnot.
Who gives a shit about that?
Yeah.
The deal is if this helped you in any way, maybe it motivated, inspired you, maybe makes you think a little bit bigger. Well, the situation is, how about you go share that to somebody that you know that needs this type of message as well, or just share it on your wall. And if anybody who's looking for that message, guess what? They'll find it. The teacher shows up when the student's ready to learn. Your best friend might be somebody that is ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to go kick some ass. So the deal is why don't you go share that and go be that person that does the handshake first, so then you can go be some value in other person's life. There's nothing worse than people who walk around with a scarcity mindset because they withhold and hoard information that can help others win. So if you're going to walk around with a scarcity mindset and hoard it, you're going to do that, but you're watching this channel for one reason. You have a growth mindset. So grow the channel, grow this, be able to make it to where, you know, Tyson can get even better people on here. Because, dude, I'm a 1 out of my 10. I'm a 0.5 out of my 10. There's some guys out there that are really dominating life that would love to sit down with you, but they don't know. It's unconscious incompetence. So you guys don't be the people that's stopping that from happening, because we're trying to drop some value for y'all, all right? Trying to make your life better. You know, we're doing it so you don't have to.
My fucking dog, bro.
Come on.
My fucking dog. I appreciate you guys again. Guys, it's been Jacob Hagerman. Thank you guys for watching The Rebellion, and we'll see you on the next one.
Come on, baby.